After 2 months of Russian attacks on Avdiivka, Ukraine's main stronghold in eastern Ukraine's Donbas region appears to be winding down. But that doesn't mean Russia is done with Avdiivka. While diverting resources to counterattacks elsewhere in the south and east, Russian forces in Ukraine appear to be planning to encircle Avdiivka without attacking it directly. It is not without reason that Russia's attack on Avdiivka, Ukraine's main stronghold in the Donbas region, eastern Ukraine, seems to be subsiding. Avdiivka was the location of this winter attack. After failing to take the city's ruins with a vehicle attack and also failing with an infantry attack that caused 17,000 casualties, the Russians turned to airstrikes and sent in first-person view drones. Fighters of the 79th Separate Tavry Amphibious Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine over the past 2 days destroyed and damaged 10 tanks and 11 armored fighting vehicles of the Russian invaders. At the same time, Ukrainian defenders destroyed about 100 men who tried to storm the Maroon Berets' positions. This was reported by the press service of the Airborne Assault Forces Command of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on its page on the social network Facebook, with reference to the unit's public relations service. The published video was edited from footage taken by an unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator matched our artillery fire and dropped fragmentation grenades towards the interveners. Russian troops continued offensive operations near Avdiivka and made confirmed progress, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said in its daily report. After Russia launched another attack on Avdiivka in October 2023, the city of Avdiivka in Donetsk Oblast became the scene of the fiercest fighting. Some Russian mill bloggers claim that Russian troops are advancing in the industrial zone and east of the Avdiivka coke factory. But ISW has not seen any visual evidence of the claim. ISW also said in its daily report, citing Russian mill bloggers, that winter conditions had a negative impact on Russian drones conducting aerial reconnaissance near Bakhmut and Avdiivka. But recent snowstorms may have helped make the ground more solid for maneuvers in Luhansk. The American infantry fighting vehicle M2 Bradley, with fire from a 25mm automatic cannon and a Stepovoy anti-tank missile system, destroyed 2 of 3 light armored multipurpose tractors together with a landing party of Russian invaders attacking Ukrainian positions near Stepovoy northwest of Avdiivka. In fact, we've seen the result before. One broken BTLB crashes into the back of another BTLB, leaving no chance for the side that lands first to save. The video was recorded by an unmanned aerial vehicle. It can be seen how after several hits, the first BTLB explodes and then the second. The third BTLB withdrew after that. Fighting in Avdiivka and southern and eastern Ukraine continued as European Union leaders met in Brussels to discuss Ukraine's membership in the bloc and billions of dollars in economic and military support for the country, amid concerns in Ukraine over the strength of Western support. Meanwhile, in Moscow, Vladimir Putin vowed to press on. "There will be peace when we achieve our goals," he said Thursday. "They haven't changed. Denazify Ukraine, demilitarize Ukraine." On the other hand, Special Operations Center A fighters from the Ukrainian Security Service destroyed or damaged 15 Russian invader tanks with kamikaze FPV drones. This happened in the last 2 weeks. In addition to the Al-50 tanks, they also destroyed 31 armored fighting vehicles, 10 artillery systems, 11 electronic reconnaissance and combat systems, 86 cars, 95 unmanned aerial vehicles, the Murom surveillance complex, a ship, 39 firing positions, 78 fortifications, and 3 ammunition warehouse. The press service of the Security Service of Ukraine announced this on its page on the social network Facebook, publishing the relevant video, edited from footage taken both by the ammunition barrage itself and by controlled unmanned aerial vehicles. The static front in Ukraine slowly hardens as the snow gets thicker. In Kiev, there is a palpable sense that once insurmountable morale is now easing slightly. In the central region, the front line below Zaporizhia, which for months has been the main focus of Ukrainian attacks on the town of Melitopol, has remained largely unchanged. Snow and darkness ahead will slow the fight further. Reports about Russia's capture of Marinka in Donetsk Oblast were denied by commander of Ukraine's Tavria Strategic and Operational Grouping, Oleksandr Tarnavsky, on December 13. Mariinka is a town west of occupied Donetsk, which Russian forces have been trying to capture for months. Currently, most of Marinka has been reduced to rubble due to Russian artillery and air attacks and is controlled by Russian troops. He revealed that in the Marinka sector, Ukrainian forces continue to hold back Russians near Novomykhailivka and Krasnohorivka next to Marinka, and repelled 11 Russian attacks the previous day. Russian President Vladimir Putin took 4 hours on December 14 to boast about Russia's alleged economic and military achievements. Putin's main messages include that the war will end when Russia achieves its goals, Western aid to Ukraine will end soon, and Russia will be fine on the battlefield. He added that there was no need for a second wave of mobilization. Before the first wave of mobilization was announced in September 2022, Putin also said that mobilization was not necessary. According to the Russian leader, there are currently around 650,000 Russian troops stationed in Ukraine. On December 14, 2023, Russia launched a missile attack on Ukraine with an air-launched Ki-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missile. As in the previous 2 cases, the Russian missiles were aimed at the strategic Starokostentinov airfield, which hosts long-range missile carriers that would allow Ukraine to destroy Russian headquarters and weapons arsenals hundreds of kilometers away.